We've had Grand Theft Ditto going on here. We should probably report that.
Ditto. New open world game from Game Freak. The Dittos can turn into cars and run over hookers. Oh my god.
Only on the PS5 Pro. It's a measly $1,000 Canadian. I don't care what anybody tells you, size matters today on TKAD, on To Kill A Delibird, where today on the podcast, hey, you're listening to it right now. We're talking Pokemon. We're talking 2 more episodes of Pokemon in the Johto place. I'm Kellan. I play Pokemon. I know Pokemon. I can name every single Pokemon from memory. We have proven that on stream. It was good time. And as usual, I'm joined by the guy who could probably name 7 Pokemon. It's Graham. Graham, how you doing?
Let's see. Let's go for it. Machamp, Garchomp, Blaziken, Totodile. Fuck. That's 4. Plant Man. No, that's a Mega Man boss. Shit. Donkey Kong. Oh my god. Pikachu.
That was an eclectic grouping of Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That's my brain. Eclectic grouping, Mon.
No, that was a Digimon.
Shit.
It ends with Mon.
That's right. I have a picture next to my desk that I record at of all the Mega Man Robot Masters from the original NES games that I got from an art sale, and so that's why I saw Plant Man.
It could have just popped into your head. I would have believed that too.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, you're saying I didn't need to give an excuse for naming Mega Man bosses?
Correct.
You're like, that's something you would do.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite Mega Man boss, Kellan? Can you name one?
Oh, yeah, let me think. What's a good Mega Man boss? There's just so many to choose from, I really have to think hard. I have to go through the whole list in my head. I'm gonna have to go with this is a really tough one. I'm between a few, and you know what? I'm gonna go with a guy who doesn't use his blinker when he's driving, man.
Oh,
that was a tough one.
That's a sinister boss.
I think he was in 8, and it's just really tough because you never know what he's doing.
Guy who doesn't know how to zipper merge, man. That's the worst, too.
AKA a driver in the prairies
of
Canada.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
At least we wave here, though. Do you know in Vancouver they don't wave?
Sometimes they throw up a finger.
They don't do the wave. I don't know if people... You know the wave, right? When you let someone in, you give a little wave.
Yeah. You gotta be like, thanks, man. Yeah. Appreciate you.
Everyone waves here.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah. Americans, do you wave when you zipper merge?
Bet you they wave in certain areas.
That's our lazy interaction bit of the day. Do you zipper merge?
I've got theories about North American culture, Kellan. And it's that culture doesn't run east to west, it runs north to south. Meaning that the states closest to us are more similar than, say, Vancouver or Toronto.
Except for the fact that the Maritimes are an entirely different thing. They do their own shit.
I just assume that they flow in the sea, kind of like Atlantis or Numenor, and people when they visit, they have to go through a storm. There's an eternal storm that surrounds them, and they visit, and we haven't had a visitor in 12 years.
I think evolution is starting to let the Newfoundlanders grow gills, I hear.
Oh, wouldn't that be incredible?
So, yeah. Anyway, what are we doing today? Are we doing things?
Yeah, tell me about episodes, Kellan, because I gotta figure out why you led with how size matters. Let's talk about that. So what are the episodes?
Today we're looking at 2 episodes. Episode 176, we got 2 rhyming episode titles. Imitation Confrontation, and 177, The Trouble with Snubbull. Snubbull. I like
the Trouble with Snubbull name, because that's the Trouble with Tribbles, classic Star Trek episode.
What do we do about a problem with Snubbull? What do we do about a problem named Snubbull? Never mind. Tribbles. Something about Tribbles. I don't know.
Didn't know what you were quoting, and you didn't know what I was referencing, and that's fine.
It wasn't a good joke anyway. Let's move on. Today we're looking at 2 episodes. Just rewind. Let's do it again. We're doing Imitation Confrontation and The Trouble with Snubbull.
No, you should keep this in here. I want this whole thing in here. This whole thing in here. We're rewinding, fast forwarding. We're going back to the VHS days.
Let's just start the whole podcast over. Size matters today on To Kill A Delibird.
Okay, so the reason size matters is not in the way you might think. The first episode we're going to discuss, Imitation Confrontation, has a really tiny Ditto in it. And the idea is that this Ditto can turn into like all these different Pokemon, but you can't change its size. So we get like a mini Wobbuffet and a mini Onix, right?
What a loser, am I right?
No, I think that
he's quite wonderful.
Awesome.
It's quite wonderful.
And I'm leaning into it. And when Kellan said size matters, it's in the opposite direction, you perverts. Smaller's actually better.
Micro penises please the women better. Did you know? Milady.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's the motion of the ocean, all that copium. Yep. Like whatever, yeah. But anyways, this small Ditto rocks. And I was thinking, Kellan, what are other things in the world that would be great if they were smaller? Okay?
Grocery prices.
Don't ruin my bit. So we're going to go over.
I really hope that's number one.
That's actually not in there, but I mean, because there's too obvious. But these are the top 10 things that we should make smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Number 10, kangaroos. I mean,
no,
that could be cute. Imagine a tiny kangaroo.
But they already got tiny kangaroos in their pouch. That's what makes it cute.
Yeah, but now those are even tinier too.
I don't know, man.
It's just infinitely tiny.
Okay, sure. I got a pet a kangaroo once. That was cool.
Sick. In Australia?
Hell yeah.
It didn't kick you?
No, they were at the zoo. So
did you eat kangaroo?
I did not.
Okay.
I think I had the opportunity. I just didn't. I was in grade 8, so I wasn't like a adventurous eater.
I am, and I'm not that particularly interested in eating kangaroo.
No, me neither. I like kangaroos so much.
I don't want to exploit. Yeah, exactly. I just don't want to kill more animals. Yeah. I'm okay with killing chicken.
We're not like those people in Springfield eating the cats and the dogs.
Oh my god.
Eating the pets.
Last night, Kellan, when you were streaming, I brought up the debate, and just for that reason, there's this meme going around now of the picture of Elf trying to eat the family cat, and it's
Elf,
like
no!
that's the illegal alien Trump saw on TV.
Elf, what are you doing? You can't eat the cat, Elf.
You trying to eat the cat, Elf? Okay, number 9.
We should do an Elf rewatch.
Oh. There are a few shows that I think we'd be really good at, and Elf's one of them.
If we make a network, we'll add Elf to the mix.
Our magnum opus would be seasons 1 through 4 of SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, and then we keep going.
When the show was beautifully written.
Yeah,
but it's not good after that. I've seen it.
But bad content. Bad content makes good content.
It would just be lamenting about the original seasons. Anyway,
exactly. Are we at 8 or 9?
No. We've only done 1.
We're only 9. Okay.
Number 9. Tigers and lions, because it would just be like more cats, and that's great.
Yeah.
Let's get more cats.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Number 8. Nothing, no comment.
A boulder, but you do it right before it almost crushes you. That's called safety.
It's called a rock.
Yeah, the Rock. But we can make the Rock smaller.
Do you know what he's
his muscle mass seems really hard to maintain.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine. I'm not a particularly strong individual. Number 7.
We just leave that hang.
Yep.
Number 7. Lawns. Like, what's the deal with lawns? Why do we all have these big ass lawns in North America? It's stupid. It's annoying.
It looks nice. Grass.
But it doesn't?
But it does if you make it look nice. And it's nature. We need nature.
But have trees. Have natural flowers. Have like wildflowers and stuff like that.
Grass is natural.
Not this grass. This is grass we've whipped into shape and we forced to be there.
But
like our little bitches.
But it smells good after a rain.
You're pro lawn?
I like lawn. I don't know what the
1950s?
I don't know what this anti-lawn sentiment is about going around.
Eisenhower?
Yeah. I like a lawn.
Oh
a nice lawn looks nice.
I'm going to call you Eisenhower from now on.
Sure.
Actually, I'm not. We're going to move on. I don't care about this argument. Number 6. My calorie intake. Wouldn't that be nice?
Hey-o.
It'd be beautiful.
Well, they're going to do that to us if they keep raising these grocery prices, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Today's the grocery bitching episode.
I found some life hacks, Kellan.
Oh, yeah?
Overnight oats. They're kind of cheap. They're my breakfast.
Yeah.
So I got that going. Another cheap thing, beans and rice. But you don't like beans.
No,
so
I don't.
I don't want to go into that again.
You know what my hack is that I found recently? You know how, okay, so like oftentimes, stores will have roasted chicken, and typically they'll be cheaper than a raw chicken because they're meant to get you in the store and buying other things. Right. I found that not only does, and I don't like shopping at Walmart, but not only does Walmart have the cheapest roasted chicken I can find around here, but it's also by far the best one.
I kind of believe that.
Weirdly.
Like, I mean, Walmart's kind of up and down, but the things they do well are, you're like, oh,
the chickens.
Wow,
I've had, I was buying my chickens from Safeway, big ol' Sobeys. The last few I got have been pretty tough and not great, and they're like $13. I get them from Walmart, they're like $8. They're juicy as hell.
Wow.
It's very strange.
That's very strange. That's a good price, $8. Yep. I say Canadian dollars. That's like $6 American dollars.
It's like 40 cents in American, yeah.
Wow, good exaggeration, Kellan.
Thank you.
All right, speaking of exaggeration, Comedy. So number 5 thing that we should make smaller, the anger on Twitter. Let's just reduce it. Let's just hang out, people.
Yeah. Or we could just make Twitter not exist anymore. That would also be beneficial to our society.
Yeah, we could just resize Twitter into non-existence. That'd be fine.
Yeah, I'll just shrink it down to 0.1% and then can't even see it. Sounds like a good plan to me.
Beautiful. The micro penis of social media.
Mm-hmm. I've got a concept of a plan to do that. So,
He's on fire, folks. He's quoting politics. I'm so proud of you, buddy. I mean, concept of a plan is a banger line. Holy shit.
It's so good. I have a concept of a plan.
Number 4, video game budgets. Let's go back to more double A's and indies. You know?
Okay. We don't need all of these hyper realistic looking games. They all look the same.
Oh, there's a lot of trend chasing, and it's actually biting some companies in the butt right now.
It's like if I watch the Game Awards, there's a billion game announcements, but I don't know what makes any of them different from any of the other ones that are being announced. They all look the same.
At that show especially, yeah, they'll blend together hard sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even know the names of half of this stuff.
I don't give a fuck if it looks hyper realistic more than it ever has been. Like, make a cool art style. I want to enjoy the things I'm looking at. Give me some colors. I'm a toddler. Give me fancy colors and big shapes.
I also like color. Yeah, like I don't like how we have a lot of variety now for like options, but yeah, going to double A indie stuff like that. There was this trend in like the mid 2000s when, like Xbox 360, PS3 kind of thing, where they were just sucking the color out of everything. Every game was like gray. Do you remember that? You would have been like 2, but everything was gray. It was really weird. I agree. I like a game with a good spectrum of color.
Mm-hmm. Number
3. Number 3 thing to make smaller. My ego.
Yeah.
That'd be useful for my co-host.
Yeah, but it also wouldn't make for as good of content. So, give and take. Give and take.
Well, something else that would be good for your co-host, number 2, reduce Kellan's rage for correctness.
Oh, you're going to see some of that today. Just saying.
Oh, okay, I'm looking forward.
Just saying.
And what's number 1 thing to make smaller? This is, I think, lots of our listeners can relate to. The prices of retro Pokemon games.
Oh, tell me about it.
What the fuck has happened? What a weird-ass market.
The only DS Pokemon game I am missing, actually, the only Pokemon game from Gen 4 through 7 that I am missing is Black 2. And I can't find it anywhere for less than, like, $200.
Black 2 is worth outrageous amounts, yeah.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Well, even the Emerald's even worse. It's like $260, $250.
Emerald is really bad. Yeah.
Just put it out there for everybody. I still need Ruby, Emerald, Black 2, Crystal, and then half of the Switch games. But that's whatever.
Okay.
I just haven't gotten to those ones yet. Because you can make different profiles. You don't need to buy a second Pokemon game to play the game again without erasing your save file. You can just make a new profile.
Nice.
On the Switch. So,
Perfect.
Yeah. Just putting it out there. Anyway, Pokemon?
Yeah, let's get into the episode. So this is 176, Imitation Confrontation. And this is with our beautiful tiny Ditto we were talking about. And I just realized, Kellan, that I have to concentrate really hard to say Ditto again.
Yep. I was waiting for it. I'm paying attention. I was going to congratulate you at the end of the episode if you didn't get through it.
But if I can get through it, we'll try.
Unfortunately, you're self-aware about it now, so.
Well, that doesn't mean a lot. We'll try.
No. So, Imitation Confrontation, we're starting off, we're at a center. Where's Joy? This is crazy. Where is Nurse Joy? She's not at the front desk. That's insane. Well, oh, hey, there's a Chansey, and a Joy pops out, and she's like, hi, I'm Joy. Joy's doing a procedure. And Ash is like, wait, if you're Joy, where's the other Joy? What's going on here? And she's like,
how can there be two Joys? Of course there can be two Joys. We've met like hundreds.
But they can't be both in the center at the same time. That creates a paradox. Yeah.
Right.
Brock, though, is like, I don't think so. My horny detectors are signaling that this is wrong. My Joydar is off. It's
my horny detectors.
It's telling me this is not the real Joy. This is an imposter.
Imposter among us.
Dun dun. And Joy is like, oh, you did it, Brock. You've cracked the case. You're so good at this. And they're like, how do you know my name? And she's like, well, I'm Duplica. Oh my god. Crazy.
A reoccurring character. That's rare.
That is very rare. Yeah.
Happens every once in a while. I guess that Casey was one of the other few, but it's not often.
No.
So this is way back when, in Kanto somewhere, like first season, I think.
Yeah, this was like right in between like the or right before the band episodes. It was like Ditto's Mysterious Mansion. It was right before the Safari Zone.
And she was like running like a circus
or right
or something with Ditto, but Ditto's face like always looked fucked up, so they had to like figure out how to do that. It was that one.
Yeah, it was that one. And she came, and that was the one where we were like, is her hair blue or green? And I was like, are you colorblind? Because you were like, it's green.
We argue about blue and greens a lot, to the point where I still think something's wrong with your monitor.
I don't think so.
But do you ever play with your color settings on your monitor?
No, but my greens look like greens, and my blues look like blues.
That's so dumb. Anyways.
But they do, so...
Yeah, but they look that way because of what your monitor's showing you. So, like, on my monitor, I could be seeing a different thing than you.
No, I know what, like, a Bulbasaur is supposed to look like. So if it's right on my screen...
Yeah, but the thing's in the middle. Oh my god, never mind.
I know what I'm doing. This is Duplica. She's back, and she's got her Ditto. Gotta love Ditto. Remember Ditto? A little pink blob.
Pink, he's purple. Sorry. Keep going.
So they're chilling at a table, and Togepi is just, like, pulling at Ditto and bouncing on Ditto. It's very cute. I love it.
Togepi playing with the Ditto, I thought that face was just like, moisturize me. Like it's all stretched apart.
Harder.
Kill me.
We hear Duplica's here for some kind of acting competition with her Ditto. And like Team Rocket are watching in. Jesse's like, who's that bitch? And we're like, Jesse, Jesus Christ, don't call her that. It's crazy. She's a child. But they think it'd be cool to take the boss a Ditto. And that'd be neat. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Detestable Ditto trainer. Yeah, gonna set you up for the boss so you can have an infinite amount of Persians, I assume.
Yeah, and so Joy comes out, the real Joy this time. She's done with Duplica's other Ditto, who she calls Mini-Dit, which is a fun name. A cute name. It's fun to say. Mini-Dit.
This is the new friend Mini-Dit. Yep.
And Joy is like, yeah, this thing's totally fine. And Brock's like, Duplica, why would you take your Pokemon to a center if everything is okay with them? Why would you do that? And I'm like,
so
Brock,
gonna explain.
Sometimes disabilities aren't visible. Come on.
Oh,
get with the times.
Get
with the times.
Yeah, Brock's pretty close-minded there.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, we've seen sort of routine checkups before.
Yeah.
So
what's the difference?
It was kind of a strange thing for Brock to call out. Now, it does fit a narrative device where we do need to reveal something. We do need to reveal the conflict of the episode.
It is the characters being like, hey, what's the plot point of this episode? And Duplica's like, oh, it's a great thing you asked. Let me show you.
It's exactly that. So they're playing around this playground.
Which is adorable.
And they're going to show off some of the moves here. So Mini-Dit turns into Pikachu. And it looks good. Looks just like a Pikachu. Brock goes, it transforms just like Ditto. And okay, so in this episode, they refer to her original Ditto as Ditto.
Yeah.
And then this Ditto Mini-Dit. And like that, it makes sense, but it's also a little bit confusing since they're both Ditto. Mm-hmm. Like, she transforms like Ditto. Of course, Brock.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you nickname one and not nickname the other, it's some thing people do in the games.
Right, so it's like game mechanic.
Yeah, I guess. Except I don't think in this world you have to go to a certain town and meet some old guy to change your Pokemon's nickname.
Yeah, that's, well,
you gotta go find Old Man Johnson sitting in the back in his janitor closet and be like, hey, can you change my Pokemon's nickname? And he's like, yeah, do you have its birth certificate? And you're like, yeah, change it to Tim. And he's like, done. And you're like, I don't feel like this is a legal way. We're in a janitor closet.
Yeah, you say that now, but like, what if there's an episode about that we run into? That would be pretty hilarious, like a naming episode.
Yeah.
And then Ash is like really conflicted. Should I change Pikachu's name? Should I name him Mr. Muffin Top? Oh, I don't know. And then he decides to keep it as Pikachu the whole time, like that kind of ordeal. It's just like the Raichu episode.
That's a great name for a Pikachu, though. Mr. Muffin Top.
Mr. Muffin Top.
I don't think it'll fit, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mini-Dit can transform into Pikachu and Togepi totally fine. Duplica's like, okay, well, we need a big Pokemon for it to transform into to see this problem. And Brock's like, oh, yeah, and he whips it out. His Onix.
Mm-hmm. I got a big Pokemon for you right here.
And he grabs his crotch. Yeah.
Oh.
And he's like, that's where I keep the Pokeball that Onix is kept in. And we're like, Brock. Oh, you trickster. And so it transforms into Onix, and it's tiny. It's a little tiny Onix.
Mm-hmm. Same size as before.
Crazy.
Like the Mini-Dit is the same, but it's the Onix. And we get this sort of like wah-wah kind of moment. There's something about the tiny Onix. I can't decide if it's like a little bit creepy looking or cute. Like it's a little weird, but I also like it. I don't know.
It's just different.
It's just different.
It throws you for a little bit of a loop there.
But it definitely looks more like a snake, since now it's like the size of like a garden snake.
Yeah. But with this, I have we got a question from Tristan who asks, what Pokemon would you want in miniature form as a pet? And he even included some rules because it's crazy. He says, my only disclaimer is that it must be a Pokemon from Generation 1 or 2 since that's where we are in the anime. And he includes, Kellan cannot pick Breloom. To which I say, fuck you! Breloom! I want Breloom! Give me a Breloom!
Put the rules.
No!
The
rules!
That I would want in mini form as a pet.
Would a mini Muck just be a Grimer?
Yeah, her mini Electro would be a Voltorb.
Yeah.
What about a mini Mr. Mime? How terrifying would that be?
The last part of the email, Tristan says, I'll take a mini Mr. Mime. That could be fun.
Oh my god,
there you go.
My mind. Wow.
The problem is, like, the Pokemon I would have as a pet are the cute Pokemon, and the cute Pokemon are all small already.
Yeah, so they'd be way too small. They'd disappear. Okay, what about a mini Mewtwo? And he's like, my existence, my power, I need to take over the world. But he's like tiny. It would be like a Pinky and the Brain kind of show. Like, I gotta keep this like tiny Mewtwo in like its little hamster wheel. Okay, I'll go with the tiny Mewtwo. That's weird and cruel.
Existence is pain. Mewtwo, you want a treat? Blanket strips. Blanket strips. Blanket.
Why was I created? Go for a run on your hamster wheel, Mewtwo.
Did you say what? What?
Yeah, I'm into that. We'll go with Mewtwo. What
you know
about you, Kellan?
I would take Ferret. Give me Ferret. I love Ferret already. Small Ferret would be great. It would be more ferret-sized, and Ferret's already cute.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, is Ferret pretty big?
It's measured,
is the first one, right?
Measured at 5'11", which would be length.
Oh, that is quite long.
Yeah, it's very long Ferret. So give me a small Ferret, and it'd be even cuter.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Optimizing cuteness.
There you go. But also, I would take Breloom any day of the week, and twice on Tuesdays.
Yeah. But the rules.
Yep. So Team Rocket is, like, befuddled by this
Look at
tiny
the size
Onix.
of that thing. It's beauty.
But Misty's amazed. She's like, Duplica, you captured the weirdest, strangest, most odd Pokemon ever. And Brock and Duplica are like, oh, how could you say that? Oh, God.
She tries to cover herself, but in a good way. I mean that in a good way. Like, you're weird in the cool way, Duplica.
I thought you were a loser before, then I got to know you. And not something you should say to a person, just saying. But Ash tries to cheer her up also. She's like, in order to raise a Ditto, you gotta know so many moves. You must be, like, just so good at training Ditto.
Dripping with knowledge.
So they're gonna fight. They're gonna have a fight. It's gonna be Totodile versus Mini-Dit. who transforms into Totodile, of course, and goes for a scary face, and Totodile just starts to laugh.
Laughs it off. I love when Totodile reacts to stuff that way.
Funny.
It's so cute. Yeah.
I love Totodile. Water guns it to knock it back, and he starts dancing. Mini-Dit goes for the Hydro Pump, and nothing comes out because Ash's Totodile doesn't know Hydro Pump, and thus Mini-Dit transforming into it cannot also use Hydro Pump, even though Duplica knows the move and that Totodile should have it.
So we get a sweet sentence. What you don't know can't hurt you.
Literally. Quite literally, yeah.
Yeah.
Mini-Dit bashes back into it. Totodile goes for a bite, but suddenly, kaboom! Up on the Pokemon Center, it's Ash and Duplica.
Whoa.
Crazy.
But with Jesse and James' voices, it's just a coincidence.
Yeah, this is weird. Yeah, prepare for trouble, whatever you do, and make it double. We look just like you. Honestly, I was shocked. Good. I was shocked that James wasn't in the Duplica costume.
I thought they would do that also.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of great. I feel like the show is sort of losing a bit of the original flair with Team Rocket, or at least that particular side of them where they would like gender swap a lot. And I loved that. I thought it was really fun and added some characterization. They haven't really done stuff like that in a while.
No, there haven't really been those opportunities either.
Yeah, we'll see.
So,
except for right now, but yeah.
Yeah. But while they're doing the motto, Meowth sneaks around back, grabs Ditto, while Team Rocket distracts them. Blah, blah, blah. Ash and Duplica will stop them. Ash is like, you gotta get in the battle. And Duplica's like, hell yeah, where's Mini-Dit? Mini-Dit, where did you go? And so Ash has to go to Totodile and be like, I really hate to ask you this, but you're the real Totodile, right? That was kind of funny.
That was kind of funny, because I thought they were gonna do something like that for a second, like not realize who got stolen, but like no, they figured out right away. So
yeah, like Team Rocket. I thought Team Rocket
would grab the wrong one.
Yeah, maybe, exactly. Yeah. But in the center, everyone's fine. The roof's just kind of falling in. But Team Rocket, oddly, just ran straight out the back. They didn't steal any Pokemon. They didn't take anything. They just ran away. Very odd behavior.
Very strange indeed.
They find that Mini-Dit's not around. And Brock, he's a brilliant man. He's got this figured out. He's realized he's going to tell everybody the brilliance of Team Rocket here. He says, Team Rocket dressed up like you guys and used that explosion as a diversion so they could steal Mini-Dit. No shit!
He spells it out so obviously. It's like, okay, thank you, Brock.
Team Rocket, though. James thinks they should have snagged some other Pokemon while bombing the center. But Jesse knows when they get too greedy, they start to fail. So it was a good thing to get out with what they needed and be happy with that.
Yeah, then we get Meowth's plan on what they're going to do with Mini-Dit.
And it's more than a concept, too, which is crazy. Got a whole plan.
You can nurse that for this episode. So Mini-Dit, they're going to turn him into like a little Arbok, for example, and show him off as rare, right? And he thinks that'll like trick like a lot of townsfolk. There'll be a big crowd. And he imagines that as part of that, a real fancy trader man's going to step up and say, I'll trade that for a Dragonite. And then they'll all laugh and they'll do the trade and then they'll steal Mini-Dit back from the collector and do it all again. So why is stealing the Mini-Dit back easier than just stealing the Dragonite?
It's a great question.
Well, but that's
I don't have an answer. Yeah,
you don't need it.
They have to steal a Pokemon from everybody.
It's very
anyway.
Team Rocket logic.
Yeah. Very backwards, unnecessary.
They're gonna take this hustle from town to town.
Wash, rinse, repeat. Yep.
Yeah.
And they can ditch Ditto when they have everything they want. It's fine. It's good. So the gang hasn't found anything. They've been searching around. They even had Noctowl and Ditto transformed into Noctowl, finding nothing either. That's cool. It was even transformed into Shiny Noctowl.
Yeah, which is a nice touch. Good detail. Joy says that there's a trainer here who saw some people with a mini Arbok in the next town, assuming these towns are very close to each other.
Yeah, but before that, Brock finally thinks, maybe we should call the cops. You know, we've had Grand Theft Ditto going on here. We should probably report that.
Ditto. New open world game from Game Freak. The Dittos can like turn into cars and run over hookers. Oh my god.
Only on the PS5 Pro. Just a measly $1,000 Canadian.
So topical, the juxtaposition. $1,000 Canadian and no disc drive.
Well, that's with the disc drive.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's like $950.
It's like 900 Canadian, and then like an extra 100 for the disc drive. Just absurd. But did you see the improvements? The letters on that one sign in that one game look a little sharper.
Well,
it's
the
crazy.
weird thing too is apparently there's some actual good examples of performance enhancement that all have to do with frame rates, but that they did not show in the presentation. But anyways, it's hard to argue that it would be worth it.
Yeah, no. So yeah, they got these strange people selling a mini Arbok. Their scam we see is working, kind of, because people want to trade in their Pokemon for this very rare tiny Arbok.
I like James's sale pitch of why this tiny Arbok is a good catch. He's like, this petite Pokemon is easy to bathe and cheap to feed.
Okay, sure.
He says it's true of any smaller Pokemon in a way.
But the people there are trying to trade non-Dragonite Pokemon. And Team Rocket Meowth doesn't like that. We gotta wait for the Dragonite. These people are wanting to trade like a Beedrill and a Wooper. Like, that's so worthless. Come on, we need to wait for a Dragonite.
First season.
Yeah, we need to wait for the rich, fancy guy in a top hat to come along and be like, oh, I see you have a miniature Arbok. Would you like to trade it for my Dragonite? And then they would do that. But no, not today. No Dragonite here.
Not today. So they're not loving this. There are opportunities here. Should we stay or should we go? They quote the Clash. And that's when the gang appears.
Who don't recognize them.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They don't recognize them, so they're interrogating them a bit. Like, where'd you get this tiny Arbok?
Yeah, but they say that, the story is so shocking and hideously horrible tale of terror that I'm not sure you're old enough to hear it. They can't tell the public. They can't divulge this information. Sounds legit to me.
What do you think it could be if this wasn't Team Rocket? I'd like to think that this mini Arbok is essentially a chest burster from the Alien franchise. Like, it burst out of a person while they were eating a meal.
Yeah. I think it's it.
Good theory? Good theory?
Yeah, sure. I think it's it.
It's a giant clown, Kellan.
No, it's not. It's a big ball of light that turns into other shit.
Oh, yeah, it's a shape-shifting alien or monster.
The clown is Pennywise. Get with the program.
Right. You're right. When you're right, you're right.
Get your it lore up to date. Come on, Graham.
Yeah, I'm more an alien than I'm into it. But that's cool.
I've never seen it.
Which one? It or Alien?
I've never seen it.
Oh, God.
Either or.
Oh, God, it's an overdone who's on first bit.
But did you see... Okay. But what do you mean, did you see it? I didn't see it. Did you see Alien? I didn't see it. I'm not asking about it. I'm asking about Alien.
You just did the bit anyways with yourself. Thank you. All right.
So I'm a one-man comedy routine.
Ash is suspicious. He's like, yeah, this is looking awfully familiar. But Team Rocket, they want to trade for the Pikachu. Ooh.
Yeah, that long red hair. That's looking a little suspicious.
Who does that remind me of? Well, I don't know. Anyways.
It's not until Meowth comes in and berates them for not being able to make a trade that Ash is like, oh, you're Team Rocket wearing a mustache.
Yeah.
That's your disguise. Mustache and some glasses.
Yeah, it's always Meowth that gives it away. Yep. And Wobbuffet a bit in this case, but...
Yeah. So Pikachu thunderbolts them after now that their cover's been blown. Mini-Dit gets released, and so Arbok and Wobbuffet come out. Or Arbok, she sends Arbok out, but Wobbuffet also comes out. She's like, ugh, I hate you so much. Meowth's like, wait, hold on. This thing can fight. We learn this every time.
Yeah, Wobbuffet's actually pretty good.
Yeah, Wobbuffet's your best Pokemon by far, Team Rocket.
Yeah.
So Duplica butts out both of her Ditto. Mini-Dit becomes Mini Wobbuffet, which is great because the Wobbuffet cry just goes like really high pitched. Wobbuffet!
Yeah, it's really cute too. I like that
great.
Mini Wobbuffet.
Oh, that's a great merch idea for Pokemon. I'm giving this one to you, Pokemon Company, because Wobbuffet's based on those punching clowns that can't get knocked over. Basically, they'll pop right back up. Little Wobbuffet for your desk as like a stress toy.
Yeah, that's like weighted, so you can like fidget with it, and
you can knock it around. Yeah. Oh,
that's a good idea.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got Mini Wobbuffet, we got Ditto is an Arbok, and we got real Ditto and real Wobbuffet. So Arbok goes for the Poison Sting. Mini-Dit counters. Arbok dodges the Poison Stings, flying back at him, and James just takes it to the face. It looks like.
Jesse's got a line. Come on, shoppers, don't be shy. Step up to the counter. We have a special on losing.
Oh. And Meowth in this moment goes up to James. He's like, yo, Jim, let's just make a sneak attack. Take the Pikachu. Take the Ditto.
I love when he calls him Jim.
Jimbo.
Hey, Jimbo.
Hey, Jimmy. So, they've got to launch a sneak attack. And so James is like, a sneak attack? Go Wheezing, he screams. Use Sludge. But Ditto, as Arbok, is able to just wrap it up first. And so now Pikachu steps in for a 3-on-3. Ditto, Pikachu, Arbok, Wobbuffet, Wheezing. And so goes for a Thunderbolt, but Wobbuffet counters. What goes around comes around.
Kills the crowd.
Yep.
When the Thunderbolt reflects.
And so Duplica's like, there's more than one way to use a counterattack. You can use a Ditto, you can use a Wobbuffet way more effectively than this.
And the music ramps up.
Yep. The Mini-Dit might be smaller, but it's a better Wobbuffet. And Jancy's like, what the hell are you talking about? Size matters. So Arbok goes for the tackle, gets countered. Wheezing goes for the sludge. And Mini-Dit is commanded by Duplica to use Mirror Coat. And Jancy's like, what the fuck's Mirror Coat?
She's the worst Wobbuffet trainer ever, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. And she gives him the rundown. Wobbuffet has another attack. It uses Counter and Mirror Coat for physical and special moves, respectively. And Meowth's like, Mirror Coat sounds like something you'd rub on a sports car.
Good one, Meow.
Yeah.
Get your Mirror Coat here by Rain X.
And so this is all very annoying to me, because Duplica says, counters for physical moves, Mirror Coat is for special moves like Thunderbolt or Sludge, when we just saw Wobbuffet counter a Thunderbolt with Counter.
Yeah. So why did that happen?
And then Sludge in Gen 2 and 3 was a physical move, not a special move.
Whoa. They're breaking all kinds of rules.
So Sludge would get countered by Counter in this scenario. Now, in Gen 4, it becomes special, but all poison moves were physical in Gens 2 and 3 and 1.
I actually think the Thunderbolt incident is weirder than
it makes no sense.
Because of how it just happened, and then they go on to introduce this mechanic where it can't happen. Because
exactly.
The sludge thing, that kind of requires some outside knowledge to see the error.
Mm-hmm.
But this is consistency that's broken within the episode.
Within 30 seconds.
Yeah, you don't need to know about the deeper Pokemon mechanics to have been able to catch that.
Wobbuffet uses Counter on a Thunderbolt, and then 30 seconds later, Duplica's like, Mirror Coat is used for moves like Thunderbolt, not Counter. We're like, okay, what did I just watch then?
That's strange.
And then after all this explanation, James is like, oh, I see now that little Ditto wasn't listening to Jessie. It was just doing whatever it was doing to survive. And it's like, what does that have to do with the little Ditto?
Yeah.
I feel like that was an error in writing. It should have been saying, Wobbuffet hasn't been listening to Jessie's commands. It's been doing what it needs to do because it knows better and it's smart.
I didn't even catch that he mixed up there because I just assumed he was referring about their Wobbuffet.
Yeah, okay, so I got the words here. Duplica says counter attacks for physical types of attacks like Tackle and Bite, and Mirror Coat, which Bite actually in Gens 2 and 3 was special. And Mirror Coat reflects more specialized types of attack like Thunderbolt and Sludge attack, which again, Sludge was physical. Blah, 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 that's really cool, Sparks Car. And then James goes, I think I understand. That kid's little Ditto wasn't obeying Jessie's commands, it was doing what it took to protect itself. And then Duplica corroborates it with saying, Mini-Dit knew I'd find it sooner or later, so it decided to play along till I did. And that has nothing to do with the Mirror Coat counter.
Little Ditto?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's weird, yeah.
That has nothing to do with the counter Mirror Coat thing. James should have said, I've realized that Wobbuffet was not listening to Jessie. I mean, it was taking a counter command, but it was using the move it knew it needed to use.
That's what I just thought he meant. I didn't catch that because I just thought that's what he was trying to say. So that does seem like a miswriting. Yeah. It does seem like just like a slip up.
Yeah, because if Duplica didn't corroborate that immediately, being like, yeah, you're right, James. Mini-Dit knew I'd find it. I'd be like, yeah, that's definitely in writing. But I think this is just them not knowing what the hell they're doing. It doesn't make any sense.
No, maybe.
I don't understand. But this whole situation for me is like,
Well, I liked what I thought I heard, which was that this idea that Wobbuffet wasn't evading Jessie, it was just jumping in the middle of shit and protecting itself, like almost like stupidly. And I like that concept. It makes so this whole adventure has been like an accident for Wobbuffet, which really reinforces like almost the Mr. Magoo kind of feeling we get from Wobbuffet.
If they did that, it would be, like, as you said, reinforcing the running narrative that Wobbuffet is a very strong Pokemon and Team Rocket consistently underestimate him.
Yeah, and that everything that's happening is like when he does succeed, it's sort of accidental. It's like a tripping and falling Goldberg machine of a fight.
But Wobbuffet, being smart and having that not really come through, knows which move it needs to use to counter a specific attack. It's taking Jessie's command of counter that attack, but it's switching which move it needs to use because Jessie doesn't know anything about Wobbuffet.
Yeah, which is cool.
It would make way more sense, but
I think it's not what they were going for. Are you sure? I mean, that's not what was in the episode, but are we open to the idea, though, that it was a slip? Like, they wrote it wrong or said it wrong, but that was the intention? Because that makes way more sense.
I could see that that's what they're kind of going for, but with the writing, it just doesn't... The writing doesn't corroborate that, and that's...
Well, I know, but I think we should go for that, because it makes more sense.
Even so, like, yeah, I'll say it, that we made a better canon in this episode. That's what I'll say. We could have written this one better.
Well, maybe. We might have had other errors.
With me around, I don't think so.
Like, I would have spelt Ditto Dildo a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't say it out loud. Doesn't count.
Anyway, that was the whole thing. Let us know in the comments what you think was happening there. Interaction, yay. So, where were we?
Meowth's gonna attack.
Yeah, Meowth's had enough of this shit. He jumps into Fury Swipes. Mini-Dit counters the Ditto. Both of them transform into 2 more Pikachu. They all go for one big Thunder. They all go for Thunder to turn into one big Thunder attack. And Jessie's like, wait, hold up. Oh god, what move do I use? Is it counter or mirror code? I don't know. I can't figure it out. And she just tells Wobbuffet, use your brain. I don't know what to do. And Wobbuffet uses his brain, but a little too slowly. And they go blasting off again. And as they're blasting off, then Wobbuffet uses whatever move it's using.
Yeah, a little too late.
Which I think Wobbuffet was just like, you know what, Jessie, fuck you. We're going to go blasting off again.
Yeah, fuck you. We all deserve this now.
Yeah. You've earned this one. I like this idea that Wobbuffet is just, like, super smart, but just very willing to foil Team Rocket's plans because they berate him so much.
Yeah. That is fun.
Anyway. So later, at the newly repaired center, they got the roof fixed up. Duplica is just kind of showing off Mini-Dit's tiny power to everybody. It transforms into this little Ursa ring. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, mini Ursa ring. That was cute. I mean, actually, that was more hilarious than anything. Just because it's like, it still looked so ominous and angry, but just tiny.
But in a way that makes it cute, because it's like, oh, it thinks it can do something. Oh, that's adorable. And then we get the whole lesson of the episode. Just because it doesn't get bigger doesn't mean it's not special. Differences are what make Pokemon interesting. Maybe we should, take that into our real life. Our differences are what make us unique.
So this was just a Dick Diva criticism episode. It was, right? Was it not? It was about inclusivity of what you're packing. Whether small or tall, whether non-existent or existent. What matters is if you want to have fun down under, you can.
Whatever's going on in your lower regions, we're proud of you.
TKAD approves. Even if your parents kicked you out, we don't care.
That's a new slogan. To Kill A Delibird. We don't care what's in your pants.
That's true. That's true. We don't. And we don't want to know.
So after all that stuff, Duplica's like, you know what? I should create a team of Ditto that all transform in different, unique ways. And so, piggybacking off of that, we got a question from Alex who asks, what would your specialized Ditto team of 6 Ditto look like? Would it include a Ditto that only changes into larger versions, shiny versions, pink versions, one that gets the proportions slightly wrong, one that's always wearing a fake mustache and glasses as a disguise? Which I'm into that one.
Funny.
I'm into that one. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have a Ditto that transforms into everything perfectly, except the head is a random celebrity, like like Weird Al on a Charizard. You have Bob Saget on a Machamp.
Is it randomly every time? Is it a random celebrity, or is it consistent? Okay,
no, it's every
that'd
time.
Be pretty good.
Yeah,
that would be really, really good.
Yeah,
and it should be like. What would be even funnier is if it's like it's limited at the like success of the celebrity. Like they all have to be like C or B tier. Like, oh my god, it's Gary Busey, like that kind of thing. And then the episode revolves around Duplica wanting it to have like a Brad Pitt head, but it just can't. Give me an A tier, come on. Question for that I have about these transforming Dittos, Kellan. Would a shiny Ditto transform into shiny Pokemon?
No, it doesn't.
No, but should it?
I think it should, but it doesn't.
Wouldn't that be neat?
It would be cool. It would make more... I think it would... I don't know if it would make more sense, because Ditto copies the genetic material. But it would be cool. I would like that if shiny Ditto did that. Yeah. But regular Ditto will transform into a shiny Pokemon if it's shiny.
Oh, so, yeah, okay.
Like we saw with Noctowl. So.
Yeah. Well, what about my Ditto would transform into the Pokemon exactly, except that it is also holding like food. And what this has caused is actually a weird regenerative energy source.
We've solved the food crisis.
We've solved the food crisis.
World hunger's no more.
We try to clone it so we have more of them, and that's when it really turns into a power struggle. The people who try to steal it, try to do research on it. We have to break it out. We got to run to Alaska. Coming on HBO, The Last of the Ditto.
My third Ditto would be they transform into the Pokemon, but they're a beach ball.
Oh, a beach ball version of the Pokemon?
It's a beach ball version of the Pokemon, yeah.
That's pretty cute.
A big beach ball. I
like this theme. We might revisit this in the future,
like it,
Alex.
Yeah.
This would be a good bit idea.
That's half of my team, with the fake mustache and glasses one as well.
The fake mustache one's good. I like the random celebrity. I gotta give it to you for that one, Kellan. Good ideas.
Bob Saget? What are you doing here? Oh, I miss Bob Saget.
Aw, yeah. All right, let's wrap this episode up. I want to get to the next one.
Yeah, okay, so they're going to finish off their match, blah, blah, blah. We don't see any of that. Team Rocket are caught in a tree. James is reading a book about Wobbuffet, being like, here it is. You didn't know anything. And Jesse is annoyed that it was a little Wobbuffet that beat him. It's like, it's half the size, should have half the brain. It's not how it works, Jesse, but all right. And that's the episode. There you go, book it.
All right, so I'm thinking of the trope, the pint-sized powerhouse. So this is that classic small but mighty sort of trope, right? Someone who's kind of looked down upon because of size, but actually can really still pack a wallop. That's David and Goliath, right? Would be like kind of the old, well-known trope source for that. In Forgotten Realms, that fantasy series, the Dark Elf Dritz, he is like the most kick-ass warrior around with his double swords, fucking everything up. He's actually quite slight of form and sometimes looked down upon because he doesn't seem like he's that tough. And then I've also got another one from Isaac Asimov, famous sci-fi writer, The Complete Adventures of Lucky Star. This character, John Bigman Jones, is only 5'2" and 120 pounds, but he routinely wins fistfights against men who are foolish enough to underestimate him. So he's like an incredible fighter and looked down upon because of his size. So yeah, that was the trope.
And then chess, the pawns. And, that's the whole thing. Pawns become the most powerful piece.
I mean, they're
if they get to the
end game, like insanely important, right? Crazy. It all comes down to like, I've got one pawn left, but I've got a pawn left. Checkmate.
I've always, I can't really say that I've always loved that trope in my real life, but it's like that's something I've always kind of identified with are like these characters and stuff, and like small Pokemon that can pack a punch. Like there was a TikTok I put out. My top 5 Gen 5 Pokemon, and Durant's on the list, and he's a tiny little ant guy. He's really good Pokemon. I really love him. And I said in there that, a psychologist might examine that and say that this stems from like me being the youngest sibling by a decent margin, and being like feeling small because I'm the youngest and I'm the smallest. And so identifying with the small characters that are still very powerful and like their size isn't a disadvantage is something that I relate to and enjoy. And it's ironic because I'm the tallest in the family now. So
your family is
short
though, so maybe it's that. Maybe you're looking at your family as a whole.
I don't know. Oh, maybe. But I don't know.
But it's even outside of like the personal feeling, I think it's very. It feels good to cheer for an underdog.
Yeah,
right. Like
that too.
these stories appeal to us on a universal level because I think there's something about the human spirit this appeals to. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Is it someone that is superficially maybe doesn't fit the mark, but that when it fits, right? And that's it's inspiring, right? Those are the kind of stories that inspire people. So.
Yeah. That's therapy hour on TKAD. Let's move on to the fourth.
That'll be our next thing. Every episode, one of us has to share a feeling. Oh, fuck that. This is the plastic ping pong picture of objective rankings. We're going to pull 2 categories at random from it, rank the episode on it.
First category will be... It'll be the sidekick shenanigans.
So that's kind of Brock and Misty stuff?
Oh, the Pokemon. The other Pokemon that aren't Pikachu.
Oh, okay. Well, Totodile has some good dancing in this one. That was fun.
Yeah.
Is it just Ash's Pokemon? Like, we're not counting
No, I think
Team Rocket's?
It's all of the other Pokemon. All of the main characters' Pokemon that aren't Ash. That aren't Pikachu, rather.
Okay, but then, like, Wobbuffet is fun again, this one. And the mini Wobbuffet, if that counts. But yeah, I think Totodile has some fun dancing parts, like and Are You the Real Totodile? That whole thing.
Well, the real Totodile, please stand up. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Togepi playing with Ditto at the start. That was a very good one.
Really fun. Yeah.
Otherwise, there's not a lot of like fun moments. There's, the Noctowl, but it was just on a search party. Onyx comes out to be transformed into little Onyx.
Those were some nice, silly moments, though. Those were nice. They were bread and butter, but they touched. When Totodile's laughing.
Oh, Totodile's laughing,
the other Totodile, and then, like, is dancing. Yeah. Yeah,
that and Togepi. But, like, Noctowl, I wouldn't say.
No, not that one. Not that one. I was talking about the other two.
Oh, okay. But that's really it. This isn't a very big other Pokemon episode. It's very much Ditto-focused.
No, yeah, it's just kind of bread and butter tropes. Yeah.
But that Togepi bit really cranks it up a bit for me.
Yeah, it's good. It's pretty normal, though. You're right. It's not like a Sidekicks episode, so I'm going to go with a 5.
Flat 5. I'm going to crank it up a little bit, even, because just that Togepi bit, I'm going to say 7.
That's working for you?
Yeah.
Oh, 7. That's pretty high.
It was so cute and so funny, man. Oh, my God.
All right, what's our next category?
Second category will be Team Rocket Scheme. This is a very Team Rocket schemey episode. So that's good.
You know what? Their scheme was kind of dumb, but it was also pretty interesting. I like that they came up with this stupid, like, snake oil salesman thing where they're going to, like, trick the fancy old man who doesn't even exist. It was like, on one hand, it was a really stupid scheme that made no sense. But they had such, like, they'd thought it out, and there was, like, a fantasy to it that I found really amusing. So the level that the scheme amused me was pretty high, even if it was a terrible scheme.
It was like a 5-step scheme that didn't need 4 of the steps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was so convoluted.
They were making it far more difficult on themselves.
So just because of entertainment, I'm gonna go with a 7.
7, yeah. That's it's up around there. I'm gonna go 6.8. Give it a little bit of a decimal going on here.
Yeah.
So, that's a 6.9 for that. Nice. I didn't even think about that. Overall, 6.45 for Imitation Confrontation. All right, let's jump into The Trouble with Snubbull.
Oh, that name really sounds like The Trouble with Tribbles. The like 2 people who listen to our podcast who like Star Trek know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Hey, that's like that's like 20% of our audience right there. That's good. You should talk about it more in percentages, then it would sound more impressive.
That is true. That's good marketing, Kellan. Yeah. You're right.
20% of our audience loves Star Trek. 100% of our audience thinks we're hilarious. I mean, that might be 5 people, but hey, it's 100%. Anyway.
I hope we have a hate watcher.
Oh, me too.
I think you don't agree. Okay, you do agree with me.
That'd be hilarious.
I hope there's one person who's seething when you said that. They're like, I think you're fucking dumb. I hate every joke you say.
90%, you asshole. Jesus.
Get it right.
So, Trouble with Snubbull. Gang, they have stopped by a river. They're having a break, some refreshments, and Ash sees a Snubbull run by. A Snubbull.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Now, he thinks it's the Snubbull immediately, so Brock's like, it could be wild, and he's like, but ribbons.
No.
But ribbons, Brock.
And then we go immediately to Team Rocket, who are trudging along, very hungry. James says, when they get to the next little hamlet, they'll have a big ham omelet, which I thought, that was great. It was brilliant.
Good sounds.
Brilliant line. I love that, because, it took me back to grade 12? 11 or 12.
Okay, now, can I guess? Wait, hold on.
Please do.
Can I guess if this is a story about hamlets or ham omelets? And I think it's a story about Hamlet.
Remove one letter. It's a story about Hamlet.
Oh, it's a story about Hamlet.
Yes.
Oh, there was a third option. Okay,
12th grade English. My essay I had to write on Hamlet, I called and I played it off, an old saying. You have to break a few skulls to make a Hamlet. Off of the eggs on omelet. And I was like, oh, Hamlet, omelet. Oh my goodness. It's me. That's my joke. Incredible.
Nice.
Anyway.
Nice. I like that you wrote your English essays with jokes in them. That's awesome.
Well, that was the title.
It's still.
Specifically.
That's cool.
There was one essay I threw the Meowth quote from Mewtwo Strikes Back in it somewhere. About
the Meowth quote?
About looking at what's similar and instead of what's so different, then maybe we get along better.
I think we talked about that back when we reviewed it. Yeah,
maybe.
With the clone Meowth. Right?
Yeah,
when they kind of like make up and he looks at the moon.
We all look at the same stars, the same sky, the same moon. And we have to look at what's similar about instead of what's different. Who knows? Something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, because I also brought up how Herman Cain quoted a Pokemon movie in a presidential, like when he was running for president or something.
Yeah.
And also, I've been realizing, when we were doing our live stream yesterday, Tristan called me out for like the weird amount of American politics references I make. And this episode, I'm noticing it. This is like my third one. But anyways, keep going.
Well, it's also on the heels of some very relevant topical American political things going on. Yeah. Anyway, so Jesse would do anything for a bite. And then suddenly, crunch. Snubbull has bit down on Meowth's tail again. Classic comedy.
Yeah, I hate this stupid Snubbull just screaming.
Jesse and James find this so funny and adorable, though. Like, oh, they're playing.
It's a love bite. He loves you, Meowth.
Meowth just goes, I hate this stupid Snubbull, and flings her away. This hurts Snubbull's feelings so badly, though.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even.
Feels rejected. You can see it.
Suddenly the gang comes across a guy in pain. He's parched and distressed, but he looks familiar. Who is this guy?
They give him some water, and this was an interesting sentence to me, Kellan. He goes, water is such a refreshing beverage.
It really is.
And
I agree.
Well, it is like by definition. Like, isn't that the only thing that refreshes? And that other stuff is refreshing because it's got water and electrolytes?
I mean, sure, but water.
Water is such a refreshing beverage.
Hydro homies in the chat, rise up. Let me know.
Food is such a nourishing concept.
It is. It really is.
Sleep is such a restful activity.
God.
That's what he said, basically.
Yeah, it's true. You're not wrong.
All right, so who is he?
This guy, we realize, oh my God, he's one of Madam Muchmoney's staff. We've met her before. This is Jeeves. Oh my God, Jeeves has returned, everybody.
This is Jeeves from Ask Jeeves fame.
It is the Jeeves.
What happened to them after the stars kind of show? We're catching up. He's so he was the butler for this Madam Muchmoney.
This is the Where Are They Now special for Ask
Where
Jeeves.
Are They Now? That's what it's called, yeah.
I had no idea where you're going for a minute.
You got that.
I figured it out. I'm so smart. Oh my God. Yeah, this is Jeeves from Muchmoney's. They're traveling together. They've been foraging for food because they're hungry and they're out in the middle of nowhere, apparently. And then suddenly, Madam Muchmoney just comes Tarzan swinging in.
With a bag of mushrooms on her back.
A bag of good old shrooms, They're going to get some.
She's like, I brought lunch.
And they eat it and they're like, wait, where are we? What is life? Look at the sky, man. It's crazy. Look at those clouds.
Why does your Snubbull wear ribbons, Muchmoney?
If a giraffe wore pants, would it wear like this or like this?
Why does Snubbull kind of sound like Donald Duck? And why do I know what Donald Duck is?
What is Donald Duck? What's Disney? I don't know anything. Oh God!
When Mike Wazowski closes his eye, is he winking or blinking?
This bit is going on for so long, and it's not even funny. We're trying, man. We're going nowhere fast. Anyway, so shrooms,
Mushroom soup.
They get fucked up a little bit. then they finally ask, like, what are you guys doing in the woods? And where's Snubbull? Why is Snubbull not with you? Because we gotta, figure all that out. Flashback to sunset when they gave Snubbull her, like, big place to run around in, and she ran away. And she never came back. And she couldn't sleep or think or eat. So her and Jeeves set out scaling mountains, diving to the deepest depths of the ocean. I don't think you would find Snubbull there, but okay. Crossing deserts.
Their journey's wild.
Yeah.
And it's awesome because this whole thing has made her super jacked.
Oh, she is. I mean, we're talking about the Rock's muscles earlier.
Yeah.
Man of Muchmoney, I think, could take him in an arm wrestling competition.
Yeah, I think so. Because she's got that natural kind of jack, not just like for looks, right?
Mm-hmm. But Brock, in his narrow worldview, sees this, and he's like, man, now that you're strong physically, that means you can be a strong trainer now. Because you have to be physically strong to be a strong trainer. That's how that works. Brock,
Dash is 10.
You're full of bullshit all the time, but this was massive horse manure coming out of your mouth.
It was horse manure taken, if you take it too literally, but they do.
He was taking it literally.
Yes, he was. But there is something here to what he's saying, I think, because they do talk a lot about trying to set an example for your Pokemon, like to have those values that you live, and they kind of see that and take after it. There's a strength here that, like, Snubbull is a wild creature, really, at heart, and wants to be able to adventure, wants to be able to get into trouble. And so Muchmoney discovering some of that herself, I think, and having that sort of like strength to travel and things like that is going to resonate with Snubbull.
Yeah.
I know that's not what he said, but that's like, I think the message you could like glean out of it.
Yeah, if you want to take the metaphorical route, I think he's saying, in order to be a good trainer, you need to have 7-inch guns, baby.
Well,
come on down to the gun show. I call this one Kun, this one Pow, Kapow.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. I'm not arguing. I'm just saying. There's a good point somewhere. It's just covered in filth.
Yeah. But then in all this, they're like, well, we can't be a trainer if I don't have my Pokemon. We may never, ever find Snubbull. She might be lost forever.
Well, I got good news for you, Ash says.
Yeah, she's like, I saw her over there. She's just that way, down like a mile. Just go that way, you'll find her.
So Muchmoney has like an old ribbon, and Pikachu's going to smell it and
tell
us where Snubbull is.
And we're off. And he picks up on something, so let's go. Follow Pikachu. Snubbull has to be nearby. And so we go to Snubbull, and we see her sit down on a rock, really sad.
Yeah, remembering being rejected by Meowth. And I like the music that it played here. It reminded me of in Dune Part 1, when Paul Atreides is seeing visions of Cheney because of getting exposed to the dust and that sort of thing. The dust, the spice. That music kind of sounded like this. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't.
And if you don't, you don't.
Shout out to the Dune fans who are also the Star Trek fans. All 20% of you.
There'd be a big overlap between those two franchises, at least. But anyways, so then Snubbull starts hallucinating, fantasizing that Meowth's going to return and apologize. And he's like dressed up in his flowers.
In a suit. Meowth's wearing a suit. I love it. Because there's a rustling in the bushes, and she's like, oh my god, what if it's Meowth? It could be Meowth coming to profess his love. And we'll be together forever.
I would really like a figurine, like a tabletop figurine of Meowth in the suit with flowers. I would put it on my shelf. That would be really good, a figure. Yeah.
Meowth in the suit with bouquet and Snubbull with the ribbons, wedding cake topper.
Yeah,
right now.
Cool.
I need it.
A Meowth and Snubbull wedding cake topper is really funny.
God, we're gonna have so many good ideas today. Pokemon Company.
We should work for the Pokemon Company merch division.
We should. Yeah, she sees the tail, though, come out of the bush, and she's like, oh my god, it is Meowth. It's him. I'm going to latch on. And no, it's a Mankey who gets very angry about this.
Yeah, she gets beat up.
Yep. Hit really hard. She gets knocked out, gets found by the gang. We got to get her to a center. Apparently, the center is so close by, but we were still foraging for mushrooms this whole time.
Funny. Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah. Snubbull's all right, though. Joy has taken a look at it, determined Snubbull's totally fine, and Brock's like, but I could use a physical examination.
Oh, God, Brock.
Pat me down, Joy, please.
Misty pulls them away. You need your head examined.
Yep, he does. And so Madam Muchmoney, talks to Snubbull. Soon she can play in nature without even leaving the estate, because she's installing a multi-million-dollar nature reserve park on her property.
Rich people, am I right?
I mean, hey, if you're going to make a multi-million-dollar investment, a nature preserve, pretty humanitarian thing to do.
If she invites other Pokemon on.
Yeah. But still, you're preserving nature.
I first heard this like it was like just for Snubbull.
It probably is, honestly. But,
yeah.
But Snubbull ain't psyched about this.
No.
And Joy's like, maybe I should take her to the center to do some tests. I'm sorry, where are we now?
I thought they were
We're in the center.
Yeah. I was so confused by that line, too.
Apparently in the original, this was, Joy was thinking, wondering if she'd take Snubbull in as like an inpatient. And the dub just fucked it up.
That was the implication, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
So then at night, you see Snubbull sleeping in her big girl bed, which was very cute. And she fantasizes and sees Meowth in the moon and Meowth's tail in the moon.
Watching the moon.
Yeah. By the time Joy comes to deliver the results of the test, Snubbull has jumped out the window. And, that good trope of the windows open and the curtains are blowing to signify that the person has left.
That they've left, yeah. So we cut to Team Rocket, and they've got some apples.
Good old covering that plot from earlier. They're like, it's a good thing we ran into that apple orchard, right? Because we were hungry.
To explain why they're not hungry.
Yeah. But they hear people shouting for Snubbull. Meowth's like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. Runs away.
Yeah, gang runs by. Meowth thinks the only good Snubbull is a lost Snubbull. He doesn't want any of this search nonsense.
So rude. But they recognize Madam Muchmoney. They figure out, hey, or Jesse and James figure out, hey, if we get the Snubbull, there might be a nice reward in it for us. How are we going to catch it? We know exactly how to catch it. And so they tie Meowth into a tree.
Oh,
they hang him
poor Meowth.
For everybody to see.
His tail's on the line.
This is cruelty to Pokemon. It's an inhuman rights violation.
Wait, that's what he says?
Yeah, he says
Pokemon rights.
This is cruelty to Pokemon. It's an inhuman rights violation.
Nice. That's a good one, then, yeah.
Then we get a full big motto. Prepare to say goodbye to all of our trouble. Prepare to say hello to Snubbull. To protect ourselves from being poor, when we get enough, we'll still get more. We'll capture Snubbull and return it to its rich owner and get a big reward. Then there won't be anything we can't afford. Jesse, James, Team Rocket likes blasting off at the speed of light, but catching that Snubbull and getting that reward would be a delight. Meowth, that's right, but what you're doing to me is dead wrong.
Team Rocket, Jesse James said they'll buy Meowth a new tail after this is done.
I don't want a new tail, I want this one. Think of the money. I
feel like a worm hanging around and waiting for a bite.
So Jesse and James start calling for Snubbull. Eventually she emerges, and the yummy tail is ready for her to chomp down. And so she kind of stares Meowth down. Something is wrong. Because she starts to glow next. Uh-oh.
And evolve. Oh my god. Snubbull can evolve. I kind of forgot.
Oh my god, this is a Granbull. This is our new Pokemon of this week.
So it's a big bulldog now. Kind of a cool design, actually. Tell me about Granbull, Kellan.
Well, Granbull is a big bulldog. That's yeah.
It's got a big bottom jaw.
Yeah.
Massive bottom jaw.
Giant teeth? I guess they're supposed to be kind of teeth,
colored
but
like his skin.
Yeah, flesh teeth.
Oh god, that's horrifying.
But
is Granbull any good?
Granbull's decent. It's all right.
So it says on
it's
both
one of those kind of replacement levels.
But
yeah,
Fairy wasn't in Gen 2, right? So was that changed?
So they were normal before Gen 6.
Ah, okay.
Just pure normal. But they've always been classified as fairy Pokemon. It's always kind of been weird because it's a bulldog. Why is it a fairy?
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Let's look at the origin. Its category, according to Wikipedia, its category, egg group, and type may reference the Kusith, a creature in Celtic mythology whose name means dog fairy. So that's possibly what it is
kind of
based on. Yeah. So, that would make sense why it's fairy type then. Or why it's been known as the fairy Pokemon.
A little. That's an interesting inspiration, if true, because in not being Japanese, right? And all the way back to Gen 2.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't digging into other areas of the world as much, Like now it's common this gen's in France or whatever. But
yeah.
They were all in Japan for the first 4, so
mm-hmm.
But anyways, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Granbull.
I'm learning things. Wow.
Wow.
But yeah, it's a big bulldog who walks around on its hind legs, which gives it a humanoid appearance and makes it a little awkward to look at, but it's fine. But I like Granbull. It's pretty decent. It's it's fun.
I mean, it definitely looks cool, and it has a nice presence in this episode. So
yeah,
Meowth's exasperated when he sees this thing. His fear went way up.
He knows he's fucked.
Yeah,
if this thing gets near him. So
Wobbuffet appears.
Yeah. For once, Jesse's glad to see him, but he starts to slowly back away. He sees Granbull. He's like, no.
Great bit.
Yeah.
He keeps saying Wobbuffet, but every time it shows him, he's like way back.
Wow. So Granbull lunges in. Arbok comes out to tackle, which I can't learn. Granbull sees Meowth's tail in Arbok and chomps down. And Arbok is in searing pain.
Yeah, I love Arbok's pain animation.
Very. Yeah, I love seeing Arbok in pain as well.
that does it for me.
Yeah. Wheezing comes out, smoke screens. Granbull lets go. Meowth gets down. Luckily, he came prepared with his Fight the Bite machine. It's a giant Meowth boxing mech, which I'm pretty sure we've seen before.
Yeah, giant Meowth boxing mech. Operation Tailbait. Now, Kellan, did they just make a jailbait pun in Pokemon? That's weird.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, it's also like a very obvious name for what they're doing.
That it's literally tail bait. Yes.
I could see it being an unintentional joke.
Like a Freudian slip kind of thing. Yeah. I kind of hope so. Considering this is a show about 10-year-olds running around.
So yeah, they have that thing. He turns it around, starts shaking the tail. And Granbull bites the tail, and they're trying to shake it off into a little cage, but they can't get it off. It's got too much of a grip here. And suddenly the gang appear.
It won't let go. Yeah.
Ash has to dex it first. She's like, wait, hold up. This is a new guy. I need to figure out what this is.
Well, this is all going on, all the chaos. And the dex is just like, it's got strong jaws. And like, they can tell. Like, there's visual confirmation of that.
But Madam Muchmoney recognizes that cute little face and those bows. This is her Snubbull. And Team Rocket see them. And they realize, okay, you know what? All we got to do is hand over the Granbull and take the reward. And then we're good. And so they step out of the mech. And they're like, oh, hello. How you doing? Sorry to keep you waiting. And the Ash is like, quit acting like you're nice, because you're not nice.
And they tell this whole story about how they've been looking for Snubbull. They heard news in the east, so we went east. We heard news in the west, so we went west. We journeyed, we looked around for it, and we found the Snubbull just for you.
All 5 points of the compass they search.
Right.
But Ash and Misty know that they're up to something. Brock's like, I don't know, guys. Maybe they turned over a new leaf.
Yeah.
Brock, okay. So Madam Muchmoney thanks them. I owe you so much. How could I possibly repay you? And Jesse and James are like, you know what? Your happiness is our reward. And she's like, sweet, thanks. And Team Rocket are like, wait, hold up. Hold up.
They're confused. James has this sweet sentence. He goes, rich people are always happy to give money to those who don't need it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because Jesse says they got to act like they don't care about a reward to get the reward. Yeah. And so James is like, society.
Society.
Am I wrong? So Madam Muchmoney and Jeeves are trying to get Granbull off. Meowth trying to get them off as well. It just kind of shocks them all and then starts shaking them around. And Jeeves and Madam Muchmoney end up letting go, but Granbull still attached.
Detective moment. They're shocking them.
This to Ash is the proof that they're evil. They're not trying to be nice to be nice.
Yeah.
I don't know how this was
Team Rocket sucks still.
Yeah. They're gonna get it back the hard way, and Pikachu's fired up. He's ready to fuck some shit up. Right. So Jesse and James get back in the mech, beat up Meowth quickly for being stupid. They give them the choice, Granbull or Pikachu, and they're like, neither, bitch. So Pikachu goes for a Thunderbolt, and Misty's like, no, you can't. Granbull, look at hit. And I get where they're going for when they do all these bits of like, no, you can't harden Pokemon, but like Pokemon battle all the time. They're like, aren't they used to it? Like evolutionarily,
Granbull just took a bunch of shots.
Yeah, that too.
So this was again one of those things that was purely for narrative.
Yeah,
like, we want this fight to not just be solved by Pikachu right now. Let's make up an excuse.
Mm-hmm. So Cyndaquil comes out and flamethrowers the machine, heats it up real bad.
It's getting hot inside for Jesse and James. Whoa.
Meowth, in an attempt to turn on the AC, accidentally launches the tail missile.
Oh, don't you hate when you do that,
Yeah,
Kellan?
so such a relatable situation, you know?
It's hot outside, and you accidentally bomb Mexico.
Yeah, I try to save
That's the worst.
I try to save my my Adobe Premiere project, and instead I just like blow my computer up. I hit the wrong button. I hit Control A instead of Control S. And I really should have moved that hotkey.
That is a bad hotkey, I would say.
Yeah. So Madam Muchmoney gets ready to save Granbull and takes the missile full front.
Yeah, she just sumos up in front of this flying missile and just takes it head on right into the tree. Just tanks it.
But they're gonna fight Team Rocket together. Madam Muchmoney and Granbull. She's kind of come to terms with the fact that she doesn't have cute little Snubbull anymore. It is in fact Granbull.
Well, and Granbull like clearly respected Muchmoney's feats of strength here.
Yeah,
so Brock was kind of on to something.
A little bit.
It doesn't have a generalized logic, but it seems to be working here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Little did we know, Granbull only appreciates large guns. So
Granbull's a gym bro.
Yeah. So they're gonna fight Team Rocket. Takedown, tackle, dodging the gloves. The mech gets hit back, and now big dynamic punch. Kaboom! The mech starts malfunctioning, spinning around in circles. Oh my god, and Pikachu thunderbolts. And then as they go blasting off again, they ask, where did our plan go wrong? And Meowth says, you know what they say about the best laid plans of Meowth and men, Jimmy?
Good one. I like that.
Speaking of plans, did we have any plans for dinner this evening? Says James.
As they're blasting off.
And they go blasting off again. Yep. And then Muchmoney and Granbull reunite properly. Misty says, oh, they're just darling. Ah, and everyone laughs. Ha ha ha.
Classic.
And later at sunset.
We got a sunset, baby. End of the episode.
Wonderful. They must be getting home. So Jeeves is going to take the car around. Muchmoney's like, no. Granbull and I, we like the exercise. We're going to run home. And they start like racing each other. That was a fun little bit. And Jeeves is not into it though. Jeeves wants to take the car.
That's fair, Jeeves.
Yeah. And Brock with, one last stinger for the episode. One last, real gut punch of a joke here. I'd say Granbull's going to give Madam Muchmoney a run for her money.
Oh. Fuck you, Brock.
And then the narrator with a nice capping it off. Madam Muchmoney and Granbull have gotten a head start on restoring their team spirit. That spirit will continue to grow if they learn to grow together. Inspirational. Beautiful. I love it. Beautiful. That's the episode.
So, literary hour. Kellan, it's funny that you highlighted the trope actually already that I'm going to...
The window?
The window. It's the bathroom breakout is what it's called on TV tropes, and they zone in more on the leaving through the bathroom. Now, the one in the episode isn't about the bathroom, but it is about that leaving through the window, which is like, I feel very similar, right? Like, fleeing through the window, and then you see the window open. This is like such a common one that it gets subverted a lot, too. So in the Da Vinci Code, there's a whole thing about the character fakes going out the window and like leaves it as bait, but they actually went somewhere else. And apparently in Twilight, which I haven't read, but I'm sure it's brilliant, at an airport, Bella knows that the bathroom has 2 doors or something like that. So she goes in one and then exits out the other, but the person who was watching her thinks that she's still in the bathroom or something like that. So Bella.
I can always just think of, like, it's such a common thing in cartoons, especially, because they have that, the window open and the curtains are blowing. Like, that is the specific thing.
That's really, that has a look, right?
Yeah.
Well, and there's also, like, some jokes in Friends about this, because, like, Rachel escapes from her wedding through the bathroom, and then Emily does that later, too.
Oh, yeah, she does. You're right. All right, let's rate her and get out of here.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do the 4-pour time. What do we got first, Bob?
First category for the trouble with Snubbull will be the soundtrack.
Ooh.
Now, not a lot, because I didn't even note anything throughout.
We get a really nice theme when the mech charges. When the mech is charging against Granbull near the end.
Oh, yeah, that's, I think I noted it in the menu notes. Yeah, it's like the rival approaching theme, and it's a really good one.
And then I highlighted way earlier when Snubbull is sad about being rejected.
Oh, yeah.
I said it sounded like Dune music. So I liked that sound.
Yeah.
Or like a sad kind of tonal kind of thing.
Yeah, so a couple good ones.
I mean, most of the episodes have been kind of at that quality, though. I liked that the sad soundtrack one a little bit more than average. So that's going to bring it to about a 6.
6, yeah, I'm about that. It's like, I mean, I'll always take that rival approaching theme. I think that's a really kick-ass one.
It's really good, yeah.
In my ranking of songs, it's kind of like the Johto replacement of the electric guitar gym theme that we had a lot of in Gen 1 that I loved.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
That pumps it up a bit, so I'm gonna go 6.5. So 6.25 for that. Final category of the day will be Team Rocket's motto.
Ooh, okay. Not bad. The whole how does it go again? It's well, they've got me else tied up, right?
Yeah. Prepare to say goodbye to all of our trouble. Prepare to say hello to Snubbull. To protect ourselves from being poor. When we get enough, we'll still get more. We'll capture Snubbull and return it to its rich owner and get a big reward. Then there won't be anything we can't afford. Jesse James, Team Rocket likes blasting off the speed of light, but catching that Snubbull and getting that reward will be a delight. Meowth, that's right, but what you're doing to me is dead wrong. Which I love that ending.
That ending's amazing.
It is very good.
I mean, and it's a custom chant.
Yeah.
So I think it deserves quite a lot of praise for that. It's pretty good. I mean, it's funny that they just basically recite their whole scheme within the motto. That being said, it's not like there isn't anything particularly appealing to it in like a universality. Like it's not, it doesn't have anything to do outside of like this very particular episode. Whereas like it's funnier if they're saying something that has an attachment to like, I don't know, if it's like a hospital themed episode or something, right? That's like kind of in theme with that. Like this theme is just that they're trying to catch Snubbull. I don't want to go like max points because of that, but it is a custom one. It fits nicely. The ending Meowth line's hilarious. So I'm gonna go even. I'm gonna do a 7.8.
7.8. Too much water. Yeah, I'm around there. It fully custom pumps it up a bit. A lot of the models we get are just like the prepare for trouble, make a double lines are different. So when it's fully different, that's nice. And then typically it comes with a good, at least one good, really really good bit. We don't get anything like it'll stop all of Jesse's complaining. I think that was the perfect one.
Yeah.
But it's up there. That's I'm around that 7 mark. I'm gonna go 7.2. I think that's a 7.5 for that. With the 6.25, 6.875 for the trouble with Snubbull. 2 above average, average episodes this week. Slightly above average, just barely.
It's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Yeah. That's it for this week.
Kellan,
oh my goodness.
Yes. Hitting the end of the TKAD episode. What episodes should we be looking at next week, Kellan?
Next week, we should look at 2 episodes. We're going to start off with 178, Ariados, amigos, or in Japanese, Ariados, exclamation, Battle of Ninja Arts, double exclamation.
Ooh, ninjas.
Followed by 178, Wings and Things, or in Japanese, Flap Yanyanma, exclamation, Fly to Tomorrow's Sky, double exclamation.
Ooh, I like Tomorrow's Sky. That's cool.
So join us for that.
That sounds great. All right. So shout us out in the comments of the episode. Video versions are on youtube.com/HydraLeech and podcast versions under To Kill A Delibird, wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. Audio versions, engage with us on those platforms as you can. Leave reviews, set to auto download, that sort of thing helps the channel. If you want to send us questions, I can send them to tokilladeliBird@gmail.com or hit us up on Twitter. ToKillADelibird is the handle. Intro and outro music is 80 Synthwave by Alexi Action. There's also content on TikTok. The channel is Hydra Leeches, where Kellan does a variety of anime error, Pokemon Green sprites, all kinds of hijinks there. And then Twitch is at the channel is Hydra Leech, twitch.tv/Hydra Leech. And we just had a big Twitch stream, so check the VODs if you're interested. Anything upcoming you want to shout out, Kellan?
No, I'm still
not for now.
Just working through things, trying to get stuff done and whatnot, and then streaming when I have time, when I'm able to, and have the energy, and it's tough. But Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah, so follow the channel, and you'll know when Kellan goes live.
Yeah.
And often you'll shout him out on Twitter too. So follow us both places.
If I'm doing something like Pokemon specific, I'll put it on Twitter typically.
Right. Yeah. If he's just cooking naked, that's a little bit harder to find out.
That's not on Twitch though. That's on a different site.
That's your kick streams.
Yeah. What a wild platform.
Yes. Thank you everyone for listening. Another wild week. Hope you had fun, and we will catch you next time.
Yeah. Joke. Put a joke here. All right. Bye.
Meowth. That's right.
Yay.